My name is Dr. Emily Bamforth. I'm a paleontologist with the Royal Saskatchewan Museum, and I work at the T-Rex Discovery Centre in East End, Saskatchewan. Paleontology is the study of ancient life. So we look at fossils, and from those fossils we understand what life was like in the past. We're not only interested in the animal life, but also in the environments that animals lived in. So there are 4.6 billion years of Earth's history, and paleontologists study it all. I got into paleontology when I was very young. I actually decided on this career choice when I was 4 years old. I saw a theropod skeleton at a display in a museum close to where I lived, and I decided that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to study dinosaurs. So I went to school. I got a bachelor's degree at the University of Alberta in evolutionary biology. Then switched gears a little bit. I went to Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, and I studied Precambrian paleontology. So this was looking at the origin of animals. So that was a little bit of a different thing to look at. And then I did my PhD at McGill University in Montreal, studying paleoecology immediately before the dinosaur mass extinction here in Saskatchewan. So paleontology is a combination of two sciences. It's biology, or the study of life, and geology, or the study of rocks. So those combined mean that you have to understand both the biological side of the fossil record, but also the geological side, because the rocks tell us a lot about the fossils themselves. So we basically have two seasons here at the T-Rex Discovery Centre in East End. We have our field season, which is in the summer. It stretches from May to about the beginning of October, and this is when we do all of our field work. So field work is what the term that we call all of the work that we go out and do. So it's all of our fossil collection. When we're collecting fossils, we also stratigraphically map all of the areas we're looking at. So that just means that we get a sense of the context that those fossils are coming out in. Often we get calls from the public about things or fossils that they found on their land. So we ask those people to send us photographs, and if it's interesting enough, we go out ourselves and collect whatever they've picked up. Some of our field work too has to do with just prospecting. So that's a term we use just to go out and look for fossils. So we know the areas in the province that should have dinosaur fossils or vertebrate fossils. So some of what we do is just going out and look for things. Generally speaking, as soon as a fossil is exposed in the ground, it's at risk of being destroyed through erosion. So that's one of the primary reasons that we collect, is just to protect those fossils. So the other part of what we do is in our off-season or in the winter. This is where we do the fossil prep work, so everything that we collect in the field has to be prepared. That is a very time-consuming process, so that's a lot of what we do in the winter. We also write about what we found. We publish papers and manuscripts so that we can share our findings with the scientific community. We deal with a lot of heritage issues. The Royal Saskatchewan Museum is the official repository for all fossils in the province. So with that, there is a lot of heritage work that comes with that. We also do some teaching or some community outreach. That's a big part of what we do as well. And also here in the center, we take groups around and we explain about paleontology from a paleontologist's point of view. So the best part of paleontology for me is the field work. Ever since I was a little kid, that thrill of discovery has been a really big driving force for me. So it's just amazing to go out into the field and find something that you know could be a part of something huge, and know that you're the first person to have ever seen that fossil in a lot of cases. So the field work, it's a lot of outdoor work, it's a lot of physical work, and it's a really great way to stay in shape, so to be engaged both physically and mentally. And it's also a great opportunity to work with other people. So field work is a great way to meet people. We get a lot of volunteers. It's a great way for volunteers to be engaged and to learn about paleontology in a sort of a hands-on environment. So we are primarily funded through the provincial government, through the government of Saskatchewan. That's where the bulk of our funding comes from. We last year received a grant from the Heritage Foundation of Saskatchewan. So that was to do some work up at Carrot River. And so some of the external funding also comes from external grants as well, particularly for paleontology students. There is a lot of funding opportunities for students in paleontology. And so my advice to anyone going into grad studies in paleo would be to certainly look at those options for external funding.